Alright guys, I got a recipe for you today. We're going to be making what Laurie calls her superfood. Pork butt in the air fryer. So, here's the way I do it. I don't know if it's the best way to do it, but it's what I figured out and it seems to work for me. Alright, we get our pork butt or pork belly in this restaurant style pack. It's about 5 pounds. I normally split this in half. Half of this is probably about all I can get in our air fryer when it's fully loaded. So, all right, we're gonna slit this open. Pull out our pork belly. Like I said, we normally split this in half because it's really big and it's kind of unwieldy to work with this whole slab. So I'm just gonna cut it middle here. Normally what we'll do is we'll take half of it, stick it in a gallon Ziploc bag, stick it in the freezer or the refrigerator until we're ready to cook it. We'll probably go through at least one of these a week. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to take the other half of this pork belly and put it in the smoker, because earlier I put some country style ribs in there, seasoned with the same seasoning we're going to use here, and I'll put the pork belly in there probably in an hour or so and let it smoke and see how that comes out. Alright, so for now I'll just set this other half off to the side. We'll work on this one. So I take this half and then I'll cut it in half again. Alright, as you can see, you've got meat there, looks like bacon. And we'll take this half and then I'm going to cut it into 1-inch strips. I'll show you how we do that. Be real careful when you're doing this because this tends to be pretty dense meat. Not exactly the easiest thing to cut. Then we'll do the same thing to the other quarter. Once we've got all these cut, stack them off to the side here so we got room to work. We'll take one of these. We'll start with our cross cuts. Now, I learned this from Carnivore doctor, Dr. Lisa Wiedemann, and one of her videos where she was doing pork bellies. Don't use all the seasonings that she does, but I did like the cross cut because once these are done, it makes it really easy to just pull off a piece and eat it without having to worry about cutting stuff up and things like that. So at about a 45-degree angle, and I always start from one end, we're going to cut a little bit more than halfway through. And once again, you know, half to 3/4 of an inch wide between the cuts. Once we get those initial cuts on this side done, we're going to flip it over, cutting at that same angle so it creates a cross cut between the two sides. And when that's done, a nice cross cut piece like that, we're going to take this and set it to the side and do the rest of them. Here we go. I like to use this glass mixing bowl to get these all coated. What I'll do is I'll put a little bit of seasoning down in the bottom. I'll start dropping these in here. Put some seasoning on top of that. I like a lot of seasoning. And so does Laurie. So I'm gonna take this and just kind of toss it in there. Try to get them coated evenly all over. The bowl just kind of contains the mess. It doesn't necessarily make it easier. Once those are coated in your seasoning, I'll just take one of my air fryer trays and lay these out. I normally cook them fat side up and kind of pull them back together so they're not just too stretched out, because they do get fairly pliable once you make those cuts. I'm going to be doing the exact same thing with this half before it goes in the smoker, so got a little bit of seasoning left over there. We'll put those in. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'll stick it in the air fryer. Normally go about 275 for 30 minutes and crank it up to 400 and go for another 10 to 15 minutes depending on how they're looking. Laurie likes her bacon crisp. She likes her pork belly close to crisp, so that's the way I'll cook them. And we'll come back and show you when it's done.
It's a little hot, but it's my superfood. See how good you did.